FX Nation, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. And in this video we'll go ahead and take a look at the setups that we called during London session today. And there's only a handful of them, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it and show you guys what we got. So first one is pound JPY. And so we ended up getting a trade out of the edge of the Asian session here. You can see basically it's three candles that make it come together here. So we have basically it's a type 2 setup where it's at the top of the Asian range, and we can see here they come up, come back down, come right back up, retest it, and then they move away from that level. So this particular trade here would have been about 70 pips or so, depending on where your entry and exit was. But 70 pips on that particular trade there. Another one was pound AUD, and this happened to be a type 3 setup, where essentially we have the setup happen in the middle of the Asian range, right? So this particular setup happened during the US session, and we can see, you know, price came all the way down right into the middle of the range, came back up, retested it again, and then moved away from it. And the cool important one that I want you to look at is I want you to look at the spikes here from that candle, right? So if you think about it, if you look back to this right here, right, as this candle is developing, you have everybody, the banks have everybody fooled essentially as far as wanting to go short, and they want you to go short, right? So they keep pushing this down, and you have all the EMAs basically pointing down, right? So that's just how they get you guys to go short on a trade like this. And essentially as soon as they get enough orders, then they pull away from you, and you're done. So so this is a good example of what I'm talking about when the banks try to convince you to go short. But anyways, in this trade here, depending on where you got out, I mean, it was definitely a nice 100 pips at least on pound AUD. We also ended up getting Euro JPY. So Euro JPY, another thing out of the trading out of the edge as well, out of the Asian range. So type 2 setup. We ended up getting railroad tracks here, and this one ended up producing about 100 pips also, depending on where you got in and got out at, which is a nice little trade setup there. Next one was Euro AUD, and this one was a type 1 setup. As you can see, we have a nice M formation here, double top, and same thing here, guys. If you take a look, we see we went up right to the initial high of yesterday, right? So this is the high of yesterday right there, right? So we went right up to that high, came back down, came back up and retested. And again, think about this. If you're a trader and you have a retest, right, what do they tell you to do? What do you always hear about them telling you what to do is you buy the retracements and then you go back up, right? So here's the problem with that, right, is that when they do that, this is a trick that they use to get you to think that that's going to happen, and when in reality it's just going to do this, right? And so here's yesterday's high, literally goes right back up to it, come down, retest that same high, and look at the wick. Again, just look at the wick on that last move there. So look at that wick there. Same thing. You have all of your EMAs, right, going up, right? So everybody's saying up, we're going to be buyers, we're going to be buyers. And then they literally get enough contracts on that last wick. You have a lot of buy orders here from all the breakout traders, right? So you have all the orders stacked here. So all you need to do is go up and get them, right? And you don't even have to go up. You can actually use the spread, right? Because a lot of times the spread on this is pretty big, right? So it'd be like this of a spread. So if you think you just have to come up a little bit more, and the spread will tag all the orders that are here waiting for a buy order. So as soon as you get all those orders there for a buy, then guess what? You have enough contracts to sell. Okay? Because they cannot sell. They can't go down unless they have buyers. So anyways, this trade ended up being about 80 to 100 pips, depending on whether or not you took it and you got out on this railroad track, or if you hung around and you took it to Mayo. But yeah, another very good trade setup there. And then this last one here, Euro and ZD, very similar to what we just saw on Euro AUD, where yesterday's high, as you can see, came right back up to that same level, came back down, came right back up to retest it, and then moved away from it. Okay, and that was about 80 pips or so. So not a lot of crazy trades, right? Probably a good 5 setups, right? But the 5 setups were good, clear, and obvious. Those are the important factors, is that the trades are clear and obvious, right? If they're not clear and obvious, we're not trading, right? So like pound USD, this is not very clear and obvious on anything of what the hell it's doing. It's just moving sideways. Pound CAD, same thing. It really didn't do anything. So all these other pairs really didn't do anything. The ones that had the best setup, and even this one, for example, Euro USD. So Euro USD had a nice drop, but it didn't give us any of the patterns that we're looking for. So even though it was a great, nice, beautiful trade, right, that gave a ridiculous amount of pips, over 100 pips, right? The key point is that there's nothing here that we could have traded. There's no M, there's no W, there's no railroad track, there's no quarter wood. There's no, star pattern. There's nothing here for us to trade. And so because there's nothing here for us to trade, we don't trade it. We skip it, even if we end up not getting into a very nice trade. Okay? We'd rather have the trades that give us the setups that we're looking for. Okay, I can't stress that enough, because if you don't have a clear setup, then you're not going to get the 80% or above win ratios on these trades. And that's the whole point of doing the patterns, is because when you have the patterns, you are 80% are likely to win that trade. And that's the whole point of doing this. All right, guys, if you have any questions, comment below. Let me know. Again, great week of trading, guys. Guys, one last thing. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch my videos. I really hope that I've added value in each of the videos that I make for you guys, and I hope that you're learning something. As always, guys, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please like and share the videos if you found value in them. And also, don't forget to visit our website at www.fxntradinggroup.com. Once again, guys, thank you so much. I'm truly blessed.